Yeah, the hate, the grind, the sweat, the blood, the time, my motivation. Ay, I work too hard, too long, and not be in the conversation. My team been up, way up, ain't nothing less than domination. I got the game and say with lock and key and combination. Motivation, all this money on my mind, that's my motivation. You be talking, but you not up in the conversation. They all wanting me to stop, that's my motivation. Yeah, my motivation. Yeah, motivation. Yeah, my motivation.
Even though it is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, it is time to start conference play in the Crossroads League. The first of 18 doubleheaders this season begins with the Marian women, who reached the national round of the NAIA tournament a season ago. They take on Grace, who also played in the NAIA national tournament before bowing out in the round of 32. It's the first of two today here on the ISC Sports Network alongside Bill Fenlon. My name is Greg Rakestraw, and Coach, as you know, when you return virtually every piece from the previous season, you have high expectations, and that is the case for Coach Brooks' squad here at Marian.
Oh, there's no question. They had a great year last year, and they're looking to just keep it rolling.
Ella Collier, of course, is the star player for this Marian squad. At some point in time, Bill, she'll be the all-time leading scorer at this Marian program. Your thoughts on kind of her and the pieces around her heading into this game?
Well, she's Ms. Everything for the Marian Knights. At the same time, they've got a pretty good supporting cast with three other players that are averaging almost 30 minutes a game and scoring in double figures. So she's not going to have to do it all by herself, although apparently she can.
Ella Collier with 18 points per contest so far this season. But to your point, Abby McNally didn't just have a double-double the last time out for Marian. She had a 20-20 game.
That's good, isn't it?
That's decent. 26 points and 23 rebounds a game. And Kennedy Gerard, the other double-digit scorer, just went over 1,000 points for her career. All three of those players in the starting five for Coach Brooks today. Again, this Grace Ball Club is 3-2, and they've had some losses since this season ago again after a 24-win season.
Well, yeah, they're coming off I think it's the best season from a win standpoint in the history of the program. And so you have to feel like as they're raising the bar, they also have to retool. And they've got their work cut out for them today to try to slow down this Marian Knight machine.
Maddie Ryman racks up a lot of the big numbers for Grace. 18 points, 8 rebounds a game, 4 assists a contest, is the senior from Warsaw. Of note for this Grace squad, playing time should not be a problem. 9 players in uniform today for the Grace College Lancers. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with starting lineups and opening tip-off as the Crossroads League season is set to begin. It's Marian and Grace, and it's yours next on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Lock in your rate with pre-approval. It's fast, free, and makes buying the car of your dreams easier. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point, her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Starting lineup's about to take place, and with that, let's throw it to the public address voice of Marian University. Here's Mark Cardosi.
At guard, number 3, Maddie Ryman. At guard, number 10, Kenzie Ryman. At guard, number 20, Becca Marshall. Rounding out the Lancers starting lineup is a guard forward, number 34, Kaylee Patton. The Lancers head coach in his 6th season is Dan Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups for the Grace College Lancers.
So as the lights go down here in the PE Center, the opening video that we showed you on the broadcast is being shown to the crowd in attendance at the PE Center on this afternoon. And again, one thing new in the Crossroads League this year, all games are doubleheaders. It is now a Saturday, Wednesday league. No, I say that because of Thanksgiving holiday. The next batch of games will come up on Tuesday night. 3 league games before Christmas. Then we'll restart with 15 league contests as we get to January. Once again, here's Mark Cardosi.
At forward, a 6'1 sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 11, Abby McNally. At forward, a 5'11 graduate from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 42, Kennedy Gerard. At guard, a 6-foot freshman from St. Leon, Indiana, number 33, Josie Trable. At guard, a 5'5 senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 1, Jayla Wayner. Rounding out your night starting lineup is a 6-foot senior guard out of Danville, Indiana, wearing number 13, Ella Collier. The Knights head coach in his 3rd year, Steve Brooks. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups for your Marian University Knights.
So, Bill, what jumps off the table at you is obviously eye-popping size for Marian, even taller than they normally would be. So, of note, Tamia Perryman, who's dealt with injuries the last couple of years from Fishers High School, she's out with an ankle injury. They think it's minor. She can be back sooner rather than later. Allison Bossy, former Indiana All-Star from Brownsburg, she is out with a knee injury. They feel she'll be back at some point in time during the month of December. So with that, you've got Jayla Wayner, who was a starting point guard last year, who comes back in the lineup. But Josie Trable, the freshman, was an Indiana All-Star from East Central. She's going to go play Division I in North Carolina. Changed her mind, came here to Marian. But, Bill, they have 4 starters, 5'11 or taller in this game.
Those are pretty good plugs for those holes. So I think that's a real strength for Marian is their depth, and we're going to be able to kind of see that as the game unfolds.
And Collier goes to a 2 spot, and oftentimes she plays as a point forward anyway. She got that one to go, and Marian has the opening basket less than 20 seconds in.
Whether it's passing or scoring, they're going to go through her most of the time.
On the quick pull from the top of the key, no good. And again, you would expect Marian to be dominant in terms of the rebounding, and they are against most teams they play, because frankly, this is a kind of a Division I level front court, and Collier off the glass and score it. And Ella Collier, the 2 guard, seems to agree with the former Indiana All-Star.
Well, you're right about the rebounding. They are out rebounding their opponents by almost 20 rebounds a game, which is an
stupefying
outrageous statistic.
Spot up 3 for Grace that does not go, and the smallest player on the floor rebounds that for the Knights in Jayla Wayner. Off the window, score it. That's Josie Trable. Trable from East Central High School. Her high school like to play in the Hall of Fame Classic last year in Newcastle. We featured those games on the ISC Sports Network and look forward to doing those again on December 29th and 30th from the finest high school field house in the world. Shot clock at 7. Contested 18-footer does not go. And that's going to be off of Trable, I believe. They'll ask for help from the outside official. She got it right. Last touch by Marian. Grace gets their first team rebound. These 2 teams played last year in the Crossroads League tournament. That was won by Marian 68-49. Marian has won the last 18 times these 2 teams have played. That dates back to January of 2017. Trable with the takeaway. McNally runs the floor. Always reward the big for running the floor. McNally lays it in. 30-second timeout coming here by Grace. And you could not have a better start than Marian is off to in the first 107 seconds of the game.
Pretty quick start for the Knights. And I think what you're seeing on the defensive end is another strength of theirs. You know, they're outscoring their opponents by 20-plus points a game, but they're holding their opponents to 36% field goal percentage, which is pretty doggone good defense.
In this era of pace and space, seemingly at all levels of basketball, Marian, both men and women, they are kind of the old school team. They don't mind getting up and down the floor, but everything that Marian does, whether it's Coach Brooks, whether it's Scott Heddy on the guy's side, starts with half-court defense, and then you build it from that point.
Yep, and I think, from an offensive standpoint, you're going to get some offense off of your defense. And then the key is, if you want to play fast, you got to determine whether you're in transition or whether you're in half-court offense. Very often it doesn't pay to shoot in between those two things.
This Marian team does have one loss. They're 5-1 on the season. That came playing in an event in Nebraska a couple of weeks ago. Again, conference debut for the season. Good help side by Gerard. Shot clock at 3. Takeaway by Wayner. First Grace turnover. McNally finds Trable. That does not go. The two Cincinnati area kids. McNally from Coleraine High School, north side of Cincinnati. And Trable from St. Leon, just on this side of the Indiana-Ohio border. 3 from the wing, no. Great crash to get that rebound by Trable. And again, Trable clearly has some guard skills at 6 foot tall. McNally, contested shot does not go.
Pretty good weapon to have when your 6-footer can clear the glass and bring it down the floor, get in the lane and pitch it to the 3-point line.
Good dig there by Marian, but baseline official's going to call jump ball. Outside official says no, there was a reach in there. So Trable commits the foul. Her first and team foul number 1 as well.
We got an official playing hurt out there today,
we do.
Greg.
Appreciate the effort being made. We'll get you our officiating crew coming up here in a matter of moments. That's Carol Smith, by the way. Playing with the bum left wrist / forearm.
We'll see if that messes with her mechanics at all.
Hasn't so far. I like her chances to fight through. Shot clock at 5. Quick glance at said shot clock. Good find. Got it off in time. Yes. The triple for Becca Marshall. Marshall from Columbia City. She was 6 of 12 on threes coming into the contest, and Grace is on the board.
A little bit of an overhelp on that penetration right there.
Trable's runner, no. Good basket cut by McNally, and 1. And again, this is a group. Trable obviously is a new insertion in the lineup, but everybody knows everybody on this Marian roster, and their players just know lanes and spacing and where to be.
Very unselfish possession that time.
We mentioned Carol Smith's name, by the way. Mark Gines and Matt Arnold, our 3-person officiating crew for this afternoon's conference opener. This game starting an hour earlier than normal as McNally misses from the line. That is in part because of subsequent athletic events taking place for Marian later today. The Marian women's soccer team again is in the NAIA National Tournament. They'll host Truett McConnell of Georgia at 7. Runner does not go. Rebound McNally. The volleyball team, by the way, is the outlet pass to Aaliyah Evans could not be completed, and the Knights give it away for the first time. Volleyball team is down in Florida, taking on St. Thomas in the NAIA National Tournament today as well. Football gets the day off. They got a bye to the second round. They will be playing in action next Saturday afternoon against an opponent, TBD.
They're getting it done here at Marian, aren't they?
They tend to win a lot. Collier with a tie-up. It'll stay here with Grace, and the shot clock is at 10. By the way, Peyton Murphy has checked in. Junior from Memorial High School down in Evansville. She's on the floor for the first time for Grace again. They have just 9 in uniform. Kate Ruley, one of their better players, yet to play this season. She's part of a 3A state champion at Northwood 4 seasons ago. Ball had to go up, not in time. Shot clock violation. Patton just couldn't get it to release in time, and a turnover committed by the Lancers.
I really like Marian's defense. Not just the on ball, but the next person, the activity level of the players in the gaps and on the help side has been really good so far.
Credit to Grace. Marian just one bucket in the last 3 minutes. Collier doing her best to fix that. Block-to-block pass that could not be completed. That got Coach Brooks' attention. Murphy on the drive, and Collier may have gotten a superstar call there that time. She probably got it with a hip check on the way by.
You might have got away with one.
4 years in the league, you get maybe a beneficial whistle or two. Gerard, good post touch. Missed on the shot. And Gerard, the graduate student from Pike High School. Murphy. Evans holds her ground and forces the miss. A rare second look for Grace, and that'll lead to a foul. So Grace has kind of withstood this opening barrage here from Marian, and they'll look to get some points on the free throw line.
That was a great drive. Split the gap, took it right at the body of the help, and was able to draw the foul.
So here's Maddie Ryman. And Maddie, a senior. Kenzie on the floor, a junior. Numbers 3 and numbers 10 for Grace. Maddie, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 81% from the free throw line. So not surprising she makes them both. So Trable will check back in for the Knights, as McNally will have a seat. Steve Brooks has not been a guy that has played an overly deep rotation over the years. But that's going to be even a little bit more reduced because of those 2 injuries to starters Perryman and Bossy.
You know, that's one thing Grace has been able to do so far this year is get to the free throw line. So we'll see if they can continue to take it at Marian today. They're averaging over 25 attempts a game.
Foul called against Grace, and Ella Collier will shoot 2. And again, that speaks to, we talked about this, the connectivity of this Marian team as you see the replay. Wayner, like a quarterback in football would, threw it to an open spot knowing that Collier would get there, and Ella will shoot 2.
Speaking of getting to the free throw line. Coming into the game, Collier has yet to miss a free throw this season.
All right, we're going to see if the broadcaster jinx is in play here. No, she is impervious.
Well, you know, I'm a new broadcaster. I think you got to be doing it for a while before
you have your union card
before you get the jinx.
You can avoid it.
You can throw the jinx out there.
Well, one of the preferred or pie in the sky stat lines that you have in basketball these days is to be a 50, 40, 90 player. That has been Ella for her career, as in 50% from the field, 40% from three-point range, and 90% from the line.
Well, when you have some players like that on the court, you can be as relaxed as Steve Brooks is over there right now.
Good basket cut, and the bucket is good for Molly Long. Molly, a sophomore from Grand Haven, Michigan, and the tallest player on this Grace roster at 6'2". Just the second Lancer field goal, and again, they're hanging around within 7. Collier going to work. Not that time.
Pretty good defense.
After Marian made their first 4 field goals, they've made just one of their last 6. Take to the basket by Morgan Houck, and it's now a 3-point game. Grace continuing to battle. Aaliyah Evans on the floor for Marian, junior from Greensburg. She got to play in a state title game during her days, playing for Coach Simpson down in Greensburg. Gerard just powers her way through. Shot was blocked into the 6'2" outstretched arms of Molly Long. Steve Brooks not happy about that at all. The runner does not go, but good hustle by Murphy. 3 to tie it. Got it. Houck the answer. And a timeout by Marian, and tip of the cap to Grace. Got down 8-0. They've since outscored Marian 12-4.
You're right, Greg. They weathered the storm. And you can tell that a big part of their game plan is to drive it into the paint to either get fouled or spit it back out for 3. And the last couple minutes, they've had a lot of success with that.
And you can tell Coach Brooks not happy with his team, but really not happy with the 3 officials about the lack of a foul call on the Gerard effort moments ago. This timeout presented by our friends at AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. Special thanks, AAA Roofing, for their support of Marian Athletics. So, all right, so what's going through Coach Brooks' mind? Obviously, first 2 minutes could not have been better, but Grace has now answered the call. How do you kind of get your team to switch back on if you're coach?
Well, I think he's got to address just what I talked about, is that they're allowing Grace to get it in the lane, and then when they do get it in the lane, they're kind of over-helping a little bit. I think you got to make them finish when they get it in the lane rather than drop off shooters to try to help with the penetration. So I'll be interested to see if they make that adjustment. They've just been kind of paying a little too much attention to the basketball when it's being driven.
So both teams have burned a timeout here in the opening quarter. Marian ball, they'll bring it the length of the floor. And a much more civil conversation now taking place between Matt Arnold and Coach Brooks.
Well, at some point, when you're the coach, you do have to come to the realization you're probably not going to get that call.
Exactly, yes. Collier on the drive, and maybe he was lobbying for the next call. Blocking foul is called, and Collier go right back to the free throw line to shoot two.
Absolutely. That conversation is not about the last call. It's about the next one.
My partner may know of what he speaks from 30 years on the sidelines at DePaul University.
And I never got a call. I never got a call back.
But perhaps the next call is what sets you up. So Collier, already 3 of 3 from the line. Make it 4 of 4, 29 of 29 of the season for the player who has her Indiana All-Star jersey number in the rafters at her home high school of Danville. That's off the Grace player. Yep, good quick hands by Collier, forcing the turnover. And Marian, not a team that, forces a great deal of turnovers. They're just so fundamentally sound, so very tough to score against. Evans, a couple of bobbles, but recovers. Girard draws a double team. Great fill by Wayner. Just missed the bucket. Collier turns down the three, which she's not been making as many of those this season. Trable will give it a try. And yes, and again, you see why she was a Division I level recruit playing for Coach Moore down at East Central High School. A quick 5-point burst since the timeout for the Knights.
Well, I really like Ella Collier's interest in facilitating her teammates.
She is the star, but only takes over when she absolutely has to. Trable. Player blew a tire guarding her, and Trable cashes in.
A lot of skill there for a 6-foot player.
Again, there's a reason why she was amongst the state's best as a high schooler last year. Good take, just no finish. Shot clock reset. Ryman lines it up and misses. Good job by Wayner. Again, Wayner has played extended minutes ever since she got on campus from Pittsburgh. But because of Tamia Perriman dealing with injuries, really for the last couple of years, Wayner has largely been the starter. Collier a miss. Girard, shot does not go. That misses as well. Murphy by her lonesome. High arcing 3-0. And Wayner leads the court in rebounds per inch at this point. Her third defensive board. Grace actually out rebounding Marian 12-10 here in the early going. Knights can basically hold for one, as the shot clock and game clock that you see on your screen are virtually identical.
I saw a stat once that said 80% of all rebounds are gotten below shoulder level.
Collier, kind of old school crafty. 9 in a row for Marian after 8 in a row to start the quarter. And they have a 9-point lead going to our opening stanza break. Marian leads his conference opener by 9 as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you. Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Back at the PE Center, Greg Redstraw, Bill Fendlin with you. Let's thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Rob Lynch, Sheldon Wheeler, Dennis Glover, Kyle Donlin, and Vince Morales. We're spending a lot of our Saturday with you. This is really the first of 3 different broadcasts we'll have for you on ISC of Marian Athletics. We'll have the men's game that follows this one at approximately 2 o'clock. Then the aforementioned soccer NAI national tournament game against Truett McConnell out of Georgia. Comes your way at 7. Myra Soba is in. The backup to Wayner Day at the point guard spot. Collier, and a 3-second call is going to be called on Evans as she dished that ball out to Collier. So wave off the basket.
I didn't know they still called that.
And that is your monthly 3-second call for referee bingo for all of you playing at home.
Yeah,
and that was frankly called from the Grace bench. There's always one assistant coach whose job is to yell 3 seconds on every defensive possession.
I thought that was like a parent job that they gave.
Also a volunteer.
Yeah.
Good hands up defense by Evans. Held her ground. Grace 33% from the floor. Myra Soba just stumbled on her way up.
Yeah, just lost her footing.
That would have been
great
a
pass.
Double-digit lead. Then an ollie pulled by Grace as a player dribbles it off her leg. Myra Soba, second year in the program for Marian. Evans will let that trailer 3 go, but turns it down that time. McNally back in there for the Knights. Giving Gerard a breather. Evans nearly hip-checked her own player. Great post feed. McNally, tough shot.
Tried to go right back up, right hand, right shoulder, right into the defense. That's a tough one to finish.
Should be a jump ball. Yep, great hands. Well timed by McNally. Possession arrow keeps it here. For Grace, Kenzie Ryman will check back in. By the way, Brooke Lazick is in for the first time. Freshman from New Richmond, Wisconsin. 4 points a contest. Shot clock at 9. McNally hedging that way, but nothing she could do. Pretty move by Patton.
Great slow drive, got her shoulder right into her chest and was able to protect the ball and finish that off.
First points for either side here in the quarter. Patton, second leading scorer, averaging 13 points a game. Collier, no. First 3 tried by Collier. Ryman looking for 3, no. Blockout drill, ball hit the floor.
It's a wide open 3 off penetration and transition.
In other words, not a bad shot.
A really good shot. I will take that all day.
Evans gets downhill. No. Lit on the basket for both teams right now.
To stay in the game, they're going to have to make some of those, though.
Marian just 4 of their last 16 from the floor. Marian's going to go a little deep into the bench here in this second quarter. That's going to be a hand check foul on Collier. Going to be her first foul. So for the Knights coming in, Kylie McNally. Both McNallys will stay on the floor. Kylie does not get the playing time that her sister Abby does. And Taylor Double, a freshman from Huntington North, will check in. That's Taylor with the on-ball defense as we speak. Take to the basket and a foul coming. So 2 free throws coming up for Grace. So to the free throw line is Blazek. She is 4 of 6 from the free throw line this season. Connects on that one. Today's game on ISC presented in part by Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. Makes them both. Substitution coming in for Grace. Molly Long will come back in.
Grace getting to the free throw line again. That seems to be a them putting their heads down and driving it is a theme that continues.
McNally's pass tipped away. 3 subs and 2 starters on the floor currently for Marian. And no Allison Bossy, no Tamia Perryman in today's game. After this one, Marian plays at Spring Arbor on Tuesday. And the women, they're off until the following Saturday. Delayed reaction 3, and that never goes well. You don't go up the first time, don't go up the second time either.
The reload is really hard to get your rhythm back.
Majorosova, senior from Slovakia, transferred from SIU Edwardsville, again, 2nd year in the Marian program. On the take, shot blocked. McNally and Collier both help on that one. Collier takes the bump, and they'll call it for the offensive foul. Which will be her 2nd. That's a big one for Marian. Take a look here. That's a tough offensive foul call for me.
Not sure she had those puppies on the deck yet.
Collier will stay on the floor with 2 fouls for Marian.
I don't think Coach Brooks loved that call either.
I can understand why.
That was that one he was supposed to get from the initial argument.
Good hustle by Double. Collier in the lane, great dish.
Great
McNally missed it, but missed it a 2nd time. So Marian yet to score here in the quarter.
Great cut, great pass, just couldn't finish it off.
So foul against McNally. 4th foul against Marian. Gerard will come back in here for the Knights. McNally picks up her 2nd foul. She'll rotate out. And that's last touch by Kylie McNally. Olivia Faust will check in now for Marian. Sophomore from Triton Central. So now Collier will sit, and this will dramatically change what Marian looks like offensively. Contested 3 is good. Blazek with the bucket. Well, it's a 7-0 start to the quarter by Grace, and they have answered every Marian run so far.
Really good pass there from Ryman off the penetration.
Tough angle, and that's a turnover. And again, this is just a group that doesn't spend a lot of time playing together on the floor currently for the Knights. So Majorosova will have a seat as Wayner returns.
Well, you can tell that the coach is playing around with his depth a little bit with a couple people out. A lot of Knights have gotten playing time already today.
Which is not the norm. Usually pretty solid 8 or 9 player rotation. Patton turns, misses, and that's going to be a foul on Grace against Murphy on the tip out. First foul of the quarter against the Lancers. Olivia Faust set to inbound the basketball for Marian. She was the Indiana Crossroads Conference Player of the Year 2 years ago at Triton Central, playing for Brian Graham. She played 6 games last year and then knee injury. See the significant brace that she is wearing. So she's really kind of a year out from that injury at this point. She'll let fire for three. Good looking shot that would not go. In the brief time she played last year, Faust was 15 of 29 from three-point range.
Got that pretty confidently. A little bit of a mishandle there. Ball just went out of bounds on its own.
Seven turnovers for Grace, make it 8 now. And that's been a problem for them this year. They've averaged over 20 turnovers a game. 5 so far for Marian.
That's the bad news. The good news is they've gotten their opponents to turn it over about 20 times a game as well.
Weiner fires a three. That does not go. And Marian 0 for the quarter. The runner, left short. Fight for the loose ball. And timeout given to Grace. Heads up play by Patton.
Good hustle. Everybody hits the floor.
So a 30-second timeout taken by the Lancers. And we'll keep it right here with 4:05 left to go before halftime. But Marian has yet to score in this quarter. And almost all their points have come from spurts at the end, as well as the beginning of the first quarter. 17 of their 21 points have come in about a 4-minute stretch of this game. This 30-second timeout presented by our friends at BSN Sports. Thank you to BSN, the preferred provider of apparel for Marian University Athletics.
Well, Marian's also come up empty right at the basket. So they have had, they've gotten the ball in pretty good places this quarter and just haven't been able to finish around the rim. Missed a lot of high percentage opportunities.
Marian 1 of 6 from three-point range. Grace 3 of 8. Grace 6 of 23 from the floor in total, with a chance to tie or take the lead this possession. They tied the game at 12, it did Grace. They have yet to lead today until potentially, right there, that was their chance. Good hands by Ryman.
Another good penetrating kick. They're not going to go away from that.
McNally gets downhill. Gerard on the putback, got it. Gerard with the field goal, her second of the game. And that breaks a scoring drought of nearly 7 minutes for Marian. Contested shot is good. Good look for Ryman. Her first made field goal.
Really good pull up right there. Got the defender back on her heels and knocked it in.
Faust for three. Not there. The Knights' struggles from three-point range continue. And again, you would imagine Collier is done for the half with 2 fouls. So the somewhat younger lineup will have to figure it out without their top player for the next 2:37 and counting.
Yeah, really trying to figure out where their scoring is going to come from with this group.
3 for the lead for Grace. No. And again, Weiner collects yet another rebound. McNally sits with 2 fouls as well for Marian. Faust, third time the charm, yes. Now, Faust was a big-time recruit for Marian last year. They try to kind of ease her back to full strength.
Couldn't get the first 2 to go. She really looked good shooting it, and Looks like she got it calibrated that time.
Deep three, Ryman does not go. Grace is 3 of 11 from three-point range in the game. Three, double, no. That was a rare possession without a post touch for Marian. Marian at this point is trying to weather the storm and get to halftime. And get Collier and McNally back on the floor. Ryman weaves through traffic, tough shot. Again, even with some key pieces on the bench, it's such a long Marian lineup. Nothing comes easily offensively against.
It's pretty much been one and done for Grace on the offensive end. And they've got to shoot a little bit higher percentage to be able to stay in this game. They're not going to get the extra possessions on the offensive glass.
Trayvell returns. Kylie McNally will have a seat. Knights have played 10 in the game today. Trayvell in a tough spot. Double just kept going because nobody ever stopped the ball, and she'll shoot 2.
She looked like she was waiting for somebody to get in front of her, and nobody ever did.
So double to the line. And rattles that one home. Of course, double from the backyard of a Crossroads League member. Huntington North is literally down the street from Huntington University. Double makes them both. Double, 4 of 4 from the line this season. She has played in all 6 games, averaged about 9 minutes a contest as Taylor so far this year. Contested 3, no, I think there frankly was a block on that too. I think Marian got a piece of that. There is a 3-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Jayla Wayner says, hey, let's get in our half-court set. Trayvell fouled on the drive, and even though that wasn't the intent, that's frankly not a bad foul for Grace because they have some fouls to give. So 3rd team foul, and Marian now can sit on this till the end of the half if they so choose. Long will check back out.
Well, they weren't going to do it on that last possession. We'll see if they do it here.
Wayner didn't get rid of it in time.
Not going to do anything.
Nope.
Well, we'll see if Grace decides to go for the last one here.
Need to put a couple of tenths back on the clock, which was the reason for the momentary delay. They have taken care of that. So Grace knows they are in it. And 24 wins last year, NAIA National Tournament, but do not own a victory in the last 6 seasons against Marian. Ball needs to go up in time, but not on target. Well, the defense has been there for Marian. The offense, not to the level at which they would like, but in the half where they had to sit their key players because of foul trouble, they found a way to have a 7-point lead at the break. Knights 28, Lancers 21. Halftime show comes your way next as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
(28-21) the score at the half. Marian 5-1 on the season. Grace comes in 3-2. They both played the NAI postseason last year. Marian making the national round in Sioux City, and frankly, they feel they have national championship possibilities this time around. This game presented in part by our friends at IMCU. Indiana Members Credit Union is proud to support Marian University and now offers a Marian University Knights debit card. The card is included when you open a free IMCU checking account. Get your Marian University Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. Bill, your thoughts on half number one?
Well, I think if you're Grace, you got to feel pretty good about where you're at. If you take away the first 3 minutes, they've outscored Marian up until this point. So after going down 8-0, I think it was. So they've got to feel pretty good about where they're at the half and feel like if they get a couple more of these open threes to go down that have come off penetration, they're going to be in the game. Marian, on the other hand, with Ella Collier on the bench with fouls, struggled a little bit that second quarter to generate some offense. So obviously we'll see her back to start the half, and they'll go with the group that they began the game with, and we'll see if they can't kind of regain their composure on the offensive end. Averaging 83 points a game, they're held to 28 in the first half. Grace has got to feel good about the defensive effort as well.
All right, with that, let's get you stats from half number one. Marian, 10 of 31 from the floor for 32%, 2 of 9 from three-point range for 22%, and 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Grace was 7 of 29 for 24%, 3 of 12 from three-point range, 25%, a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line. 8 turnovers for the Lancers, 6 for the Knights. Marian, 7 points off turnovers. Those all came early in the first half. Rebounds in favor of Grace, 23-21. 6-5 in terms of offensive rebounds. 7-5 second chance points in favor of Marian. Individual scoring in the half for Marian. Ella Collier 8, Josie Trable 7. 4 for Kennedy Gerard and Abby McNally. 3 for Olivia Faust and 2 for Taylor Double. For Grace, they were led by the 5 points of Brooke Blazik as well as Morgan Halk. 4 for Maddie Ryman, 3 for Becca Marshall. Kaylee Patton had 2. Molly Long had 2 as well. Players in foul trouble. Only Murphy has 2 for Grace. For Marian, 2 fouls on both McNally and Collier from half number one. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, a look at our first half highlights. And you see the Grace men are getting ready for the second half of this doubleheader. They are a loaded team this year. We'll give you a preview of the men's game coming up in a matter of moments. Again, at the break, it is Marian 28, Grace 21. You're watching the Crossroads League opening doubleheader on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Lock in your rate with pre-approval. It's fast, free, and makes buying the car of your dreams easier. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Again, at the break, it is Marian 28, Grace 21 women's game, men's game to follow. More on that in a moment. First, this for our friends at Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. If saving money is important to you, then visit Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, a proud sponsor of Marian Athletics. Tom O'Brien is Indy's preferred Jeep dealer with 2 locations, the biggest Jeep inventory in Indiana. To show our support, Tom O'Brien will donate $200 to Marian for every car any student, parent, employer, friend of Marian buys when you mention this promo. Go Knights and go to Tom O'Brien to see how our family works for you since 1933. Well, let's throw some first half highlights at you. And while we do that, Bill, let's kind of talk about each team's outlook on half number 2. Let's start with Coach Brooks. What is his message to his ladies at the break?
Well, I think they've got to get some things shored up offensively. I don't think it's been as bad as the score might indicate because they just haven't finished around the rim and have missed a bunch of wide open threes. But they're going to have to figure out how to manufacture some points. You got to feel like Grace is, more of the same. They've got to drive it and kick it and hope that some of those threes go in, or they can draw some fouls at the end of some of those drives.
Is it simply a matter of who starts making shots first?
Yeah, I really think it is. I really think it is. I think both teams have had an opportunity to kind of be better offensively if they could just see the biscuit go in the basket a little bit.
28-21 again is the score at the break. The Marian women leading Grace. Again, this the opener in terms of Crossroads League play. You see the Grace men's team warming up. They made the national quarterfinals last year before losing to Georgetown of Kentucky. They bring everybody back off that team but Frankie Davidson. This is almost an exclusively Indiana roster. Kids that I saw be tremendous high school players. You and I were talking about Ian Scott, one of the 3 Plainfield Quakers on this Grace team during the break. He had a game against North Central in the Sneakers for Santa shootout in Brownsburg that we'll televise in 2 weeks on the ISC Sports Network. He had over 40 in a win against them his senior year. That Plainfield team made the regional final for the first time in over 20 years. Scott Moore has quickly built a monster at Grace. Again, I think the Marian women are legitimate national championship contenders. I feel the same way about the Grace men. These guys are really good.
They're really good, and Scott's just done an incredible job. Sometimes you sit up here and you realize how old you actually are because Scott and his brother Marcus were campers at our basketball team camp that we had when those guys were in high school. Played for a really good high school coach in Chris Benedict at Columbia City, and he's just, they haven't missed a beat, and it really have almost gone a little bit beyond what he was doing there as an assistant for Coach Kessler.
Of course, Jim Kessler, a very recent winner of the Pacers medal and induction to the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Scott's brother Matt, the former head coach at Mount Vernon Nazarene, then in the high school ranks, now back up in Warsaw after stints at Kokomo and Fishers. It's kind of the Moore family dynasty these days up in Grace. Their facility is tremendous. This is a really good basketball team, and I joke with Scott Heddy. Seemingly it has been either Indiana Western or Grace that has been Marion's season opener in the Crossroads League the last few years. You saw Scott's team in their opening victory, as in Coach Heddy, on October the 28th against IU Southeast. What are your expectations for the Marian men this afternoon?
Well, I think I saw them in the opener, and they were just trying to figure it out a little bit. And I think that Brody Whitaker had a great game that night, and it's turning out in the first 6 games that, he might become their go-to guy. I really felt like what they were missing was the things that Mr. Goman gave them. I thought he was their kind of Swiss Army knife guy last year. Played 4 different positions for them, and I think they were looking at trying to replace him. It wasn't a statistical replacement as much as a mechanical replacement, like, a guy who could do a bunch of different things, could facilitate, score a little bit, and they're very deep. They got a lot of guys who can play. Scott wants to play a lot of guys, and so I think as the season goes on and roles become more defined, the nights are going to get better and better.
So, again, that game is slated for a 2 o'clock tip-off. We'll have coverage for you then. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back, third quarter action. Marion will have the ball on a 7-point lead when we come back to the PE Center as you're watching Crossroads League basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you. Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
28-21, Marian leads at halftime, trying to go to 6-1 and more importantly 1-0 in Crossroads League play. Today's contest presented in part by First On Site, formerly More Restoration. They are here to help you power through whatever comes your way. From fire and flood to catastrophic storms or biohazards, they have the team, technology, and resources to help you restore, rebuild, and rise. Go Knights. Greg Rakestraw, longtime DePaul basketball coach Bill Fenlon. Are you still basking in the afterglow of the Monon Bell victory on ISC 7 days ago?
Well, the broadcast, Greg, was fantastic.
Thank you.
You had a pretty good script to work with.
Yes, I did.
Fantastic game. You know, I'm very close with Brett Dietz, the head football coach. What a great guy. What a great job he's done at DePaul University. And as you know and witnessed again, that is just a happening. You know, it's a great rivalry and a really exciting day for both schools.
It's something that, as a sports fan of the state, you have to experience at least once in person. Starting 5 back on the floor for Marian. Trable, Collier a miss and another good look. Collier sat for the last several minutes because picking up 2 fouls and the second one on a rather questionable block charge call. Good flare screen there by Grace. Hauk with a basketball. Shot clock at 10. Ball was tipped, I believe. Yes. It'll be Grace ball with 4 on the 30. Ryman on the drive. Rebound by Gerard, will play through the horn.
A little bit out of control on that drive. She might have got whacked as she split that defense.
McNally, a runner. These two teams aren't exactly setting it on fire right now offensively.
I'll see your out of control drive, and I'll raise you an out of control drive right there.
There might be some dents on the backboard at the end of this one. Slip to Patton, and Patton scores it. Patton's second field goal. She's got 4. And Patton at 5'9", an undersized post.
And both of those baskets have come from really good, balanced moves around the basket.
Collier on the take, got it. Need more of that from Marian. Collier now 3 of 7 from the floor. Collier, the reigning NAIA National Player of the Year.
That's where she's really effective. When she's up on the opposite side of the floor, the ball gets swung to her. She's got the defender in a closeout and really gets into attack mode.
Good hands by Collier. And such a complete player. Collier 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists so far in today's game. By the way, the next time we'll see Marian here on ISC will be December the 5th, at least from the women's basketball perspective. Gerard, good drop over the opposite shoulder. Well done by the grad student.
Great seal and post up down there, and a great delivery into the post.
The 9-point lead matches the largest for Marian. Pull-up shot by Ryman is good, and that was a decleater of a screen by Patton.
And there was no help on the other side of that screen, and it allowed her to just pull up on balance and knock that mid-range jumper in.
Gerard, not usually a shot that she's going to try. Good hustle to save that by Grace.
It kind of dared her to take that one, and she took the dare.
Patton trying to go to work on Collier. Let's see who gets the foul. If it's Collier, that's her 3rd. I think that's going to be the case. That's a big one. And here comes Aaliyah Evans to replace her. But they're gonna leave Collier in for now. They'll take Gerard out.
Well, she talked it over with the official, so she probably got it straight.
So Patton connects on the free throw line. Patton came in 12 of 17 from the stripe on the season.
Patton again getting some things done around the basket, including putting the 3rd foul on Collier.
Patton just one of 2 seniors. She and Maddie Ryman for this Grace program. Travel. Good find. Wayner from the corner. Good looking shot that would not go. And a chance to make it a 1-score game. And Patton and Marshall just not on the same page. But was there deemed to be a touch or a kick by Marian? I thought that was simply a pass where Patton thought she was going to stay out top. Yeah, there was not a touch there. Grace going in the backcourt to track that down. And that's going to be a moving screen. So Patton whistled for the foul.
She just kind of rolled into Collier there a little bit early.
And frankly, Marian's been lobbying for that call for some time, too. Evans likes that shot. Couldn't get it to go. Good rebound off the square, missed it.
Another point-blank miss.
Yeah, the struggles around the line, or around the square, continue for Marian.
They're adding up.
Good back cut, and that's a foul. Wainer commits the foul, and Houck will shoot 2 free throws.
Really good dribble at back cut. The defender just got a little bit above the cutter.
And Houck connects to the line. She was just 2 of 5 from the stripe coming in. She is a freshman from Plymouth, Michigan. Connects on that, so back to a 1-score game. Make it 6 consecutive points now for Grace. Grace a perfect 8 of 8 from the stripe in this game. Trable for 3. Not that time. This will have to be a grinder for Marian today. Jump shot's been letting them down all afternoon long. Knights 2 of 12 from 3-point range. Shot clock at 8. Good hands. And Evans will lead the break. But then Evans had her pocket picked. And Patton makes it a 1-point game.
Well, I think one of the things that can happen, Greg, when you've been having some success and having some big margins of victory, is you get in a tight game and you think it's going to be a little easier than it actually is, and that can affect your shooting. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that from Marian tonight. It's actually not tonight. It's this afternoon, isn't it?
It looks the same to us.
Yeah, we're inside.
Even though it is a beautiful day here in central Indiana. McNally misses, and then McNally commits a foul going for the loose ball, which will be her 3rd foul.
Another point-blank miss at the rim.
Gerard will come back in to replace McNally. Again, Collier plays with 3 for Marian. Coach Brooks will roll the dice on that as long as he can.
Neither team is tearing it up. Both teams shooting about 30% from the floor right now.
Well, to your point, 29 aside. 3-point numbers even worse. But a chance for Grace to take the lead for the first time in the game. Started the game down 8-0. Right idea. Just didn't give Patton one more step to get there.
Well, she didn't release the seal, or she really tried to ride Gerard up the lane line a little bit, and the ball was on its way in before she got her own balance and was able to go after it. She was still riding her up.
This has been kind of the ebb and flow of the game. Marian will build the lead to a 3 or 4 possession game, and Grace will slowly reel him back in. Collier tried to force the issue a little bit that time, and again, she's got to be careful.
Not a lot of space. There wasn't a lot of space for her there that time.
On the drive, left hand, score it. Grace is in front. Houck the bucket. So 10 in a row now for Grace. Another lengthy scoring drought for Marian. They have not scored in over 4 minutes. Collier turns down the 3. She'll draw the foul.
It's a real recurring theme for Marian offensively, is they hit to to Collier an inside cut and allow her to just drive it off the backside of the cutter. And they've had a lot of success with that when they've been able to space the floor appropriately.
And Marian playing without 2 starters today. From a scoring standpoint, kind of starters 4 and 5 of the group of Perriman and Bossy, but the normal starting backcourt not playing today. Clearly has had some impact on kind of the offensive efficiency as Collier continues her perfect start to the season from the free throw line. But also credit Grace, they have been tough. It's a Grace team with 9 in uniform, 8 that have played. They are giving Marian everything they got this afternoon. And that shot is good by Molly Long. Long averaging 4 points and 5 rebounds a game. Makes her second field goal.
She was going to be up against the clock a little bit and said, you know what, I'll just take this one.
And Faust, all right, if it works really at Collier, I'll try this too. I'll just get to the rim. And both these teams' best offense, frankly, is probably getting the free throw line as often as possible.
Well, I think when you're not shooting it well from the floor, that makes a lot of sense.
And Faust connects on what is her first free throw attempt of the season.
Well, she's a three-point shooter. Typically, they don't go to the line a ton.
Makes them both. Faust playing in just her 5th game of the season. She's played all of 25 minutes coming in. She may play 25 minutes or more in this one. Good defense by Evans. Ryman. Wayner with her step for step. Shot clock at 6. On the drive, tough shot. Good hands by Evans to get a dig in there for Marian. Evans, floater, got it.
Tough.
She's got some old school crafty kind of mid-range game.
That's a tough finish right there off the window from the front of the rim.
Normally her job is to be an offensive spark off the bench. Good help by Evans. Clean block by Gerard. Collier for 3. Good look. And she came in 7 of 22 from 3-point range on the season, which is well below her career average.
Doesn't look like she's going to pay attention to that number. I think she knows her shot.
Right.
She's going to take it when she has it. And that one looked awfully good, but it didn't go down.
Tough angle to find Gerard by Wayner. Wayner held her ground. Yep, offensive foul. Yep. Had several angles of attack that time, did Blazik, and simply picked the wrong one.
Had an opportunity to get to a stop right there to make a play, either scoring it or passing it, and just went one step too far.
Faust wanted that one. Didn't get it to go.
She did. They had a call on. There was a little bit of confusion, and I'm not sure everybody had that call.
Gray's going to try to maximize the possession here because they can take this down to the end of the quarter. They'll have the ball to start quarter number 4. Trying to snap an 18-game losing streak to Marian. Ryman, runner, window, got it, tough move. 1-point game going to the 4th quarter. 38-37. Again, it's going to be a grinder for the next 10 minutes, if not more. Knights have a 1-point lead in ISC.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Lock in your rate with pre-approval. It's fast, free, and makes buying the car of your dreams easier. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters. Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Want to again thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you, Vince Morales, Kyle Donlin, Rob Lynch, Sheldon Wheeler, and Dennis Glover, alongside Bill Fendlin. Greg Rakestraw with you. Our first of 3 Marian events today on the ISC Sports Network. We'll have the back half of this men's-women's doubleheader coming up at 2. And then we'll also have the women's soccer NAIA opening round match as they take on Truett McConnell of Georgia. That is at 7 o'clock tonight. Mark Newman joins me on that one. So 1 lead for Grace at 33-32.
Well, it kind of comes down to this. Good seal inside.
Patton.
High, low, bam.
Grace seesaws back in front. Patton now with 10. First player in double figures for Grace. Collier finds an opening. Offensive foul.
That's number 4. I think it's the same thing we saw on the other end. She got it to a great spot, but just couldn't get stopped and come to balance and avoid that charge.
And on the replay, Patton had cleared the semicircle. She had got into a legal guarding position. So Collier plays with 4. And good recognition by Houck to attack immediately. Went right at her. Now, shot clock reset. I don't think that shot hit the rim. But I don't think that's been detected by our officials. Patton. No. And Gerard tips it to Collier. Pass for Gerard, an errant one, but frankly, Marian got bailed out.
Yeah, got lucky right there.
Yep.
Kaylee Patton has done a lot of good things for Grace today. Scored it around the bucket, but defensively helping out, taking a charge. A lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet. She's done a lot of good things to keep them in this game today.
So Collier will rotate out with those 4 fouls if you're Coach Brooks when you bring her back in.
I think it depends on what happens on the scoreboard, really. If they continue to struggle scoring, you just really can't leave her down that long.
Shot clock at 9. Wayner turns down the 15-footer. Faust does not. Good thing she didn't. Second made 3 for Olivia Faust.
I'm pretty sure that's why she's out there. They're hoping that the ball would find her. She looked awfully good shooting it, even the ones she didn't make in the first half.
Just the 3rd made 3 for Marian of the game. The 2 teams have combined 6 of 28 from 3-point range today. And that'll be a blocking foul on Wayner. Wave off the shot by Ryman.
Ryman just really forcing the issue right there. It almost forced the official to make that call.
And Ryman is their leader in so many categories. Good slip by Patton. Good recovery by Marian. And that's going to be a foul on Faust. Third foul against Marian and 5th puts you to the penalty. So one more to work with for Marian. Traveling, steps called. Murphy, the guilty party.
Well, it was a good fake. She came out of her shoes right there. Unfortunately, she shuffled her feet.
13th Grace turnover. Marian the ball in a 2-point lead. You can call your sits with 4 fouls. Weiner. 11th Marian turnover.
Good seal down there, but the problem with that seal is very often you're using the defender's balance for your own balance. And she just pulled the chair out from under her a little bit right there, and ball goes out of bounds.
Becca Marshall will come back in. Marshall with one made three-pointer. In fact, she the opening basket of the game for Grace and hasn't scored since.
Marian giving Grace plenty of chances here.
Ryman on the take. Good job to hold her ground by foul. So now Marian's got numbers, 5v3. Evans, good seal by Gerard to set that screen. Evans off the window.
Good pass by Faust that time. Kind of pushing it, forcing the defense to pay attention to the ball. Another illegal screen.
That's a screen you probably get away with around the rim. Do it in front of God and everyone at the top of the key. You're going to get whistled for it.
In front of Greg Rakestraw.
And everyone else is
in front
of, yes. I'm one of the masses. Evans will pull from 14, no. Great job by Marshall to keep McNally off the glass. We referenced the fact McNally had over 20 boards the last time out for Marian. She's got 3 in 18 minutes in this game. Hauk, the turn, no. Good move. Couldn't buy the bucket. And now Grace has been stuck on 39 since the opening possession of the quarter. They have not scored for 3.5 minutes. We've had a lot of stats like that.
They've had a lot of chances.
Yep. You don't think about conference games in mid-November, but this has played out like one. Evans got it. And again, of the players on the floor, she's one of the more experienced players, so not surprising she's kicking into high gear.
She's kind of come alive here in the last couple of minutes.
And a timeout taken by Grace.
I think a good timeout by Coach Davis. You don't want this to get away from you here. You've fought too hard to be in position. You can't let it get away right now.
30-second timeout taken. We'll keep it right here. Let's remind Marian University fans about the journey to 2030. Marian University Athletics is excited to launch their new strategic fundraising campaign to enhance the student-athlete experience across campus. Because of the generosity of several Marian donors, all new gifts or pledges between September 1st through April the 20th of 24 to athletic scholarship funds, the Facility Enhancement Fund. They matched up to $1 million to make your gift to support these efforts. Please visit marian.edu/journey to 2030. Additional information can be found on munites.com. Marian volleyball, basketball, and women's soccer all in action today. New format to the NAIA football tournament this year. There are 20 teams that have made the postseason instead of 16. So there's an additional round. Marian bypassed the opening round. They'll be in action at home next Saturday at 1 o'clock. We'll have it for you on ISC. Call your sits with 4 fouls. Marshall. Ryman. Hauk's runner. No. And now Grace getting some good looks that simply aren't falling. McNally reverse layup. No, but guess who? There's Evans again.
There she goes. Little bit of an ill-advised pass in transition right there, but she was able to handle the pass got it back, stuck that rebound in.
It's been a game of runs, and Marian on another 9-0 run to give themselves an 8-point lead. Their largest lead is 9 twice. Grace has answered every time. McNally says, not this time. Molly Long now will check back in for Grace, and Ella Collier's breather was 3 minutes and 39 seconds. By the way, if you look on those jerseys and you see the patch that says RMK, that is for Robert Montgomery Knight. And in the next kind of stoppage in play, I'll explain the connection for those that maybe are unaware of it. Shot clock at 3, 2, 1. Again, McNally holds her ground.
Yeah, just really walled up right there. Kept those hands high.
Collier backs her way in, left hand, got it. Collier with 14.
Really good spin move to finish right there.
And a double-digit lead for the first time for Marian University. Grace hasn't gone away yet. They're not going to now. Runner by Ryman, got it. Ryman hurt with 10 points. Joining Patton.
Collier got her hand in the cookie jar right there and put herself out of position.
Collier left alone from 19, yes. What is a bad shot for some, that long too. Still a great shot for Ella Collier.
It'd be a bad shot if you played for the Toronto Raptors.
Ella's pretty good. I'm not sure she's playing for the Raptors anytime soon.
They want to take less than 12 mid-range shots a game.
So foul called against McNally, which will be her fourth. And did she swat down? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Did it look like she got a lot of basketball? Yes. Did the official closest to the play make the whistle? No. Did the second closest official to the play make the whistle? No. And we'll end that conversation right there.
Well, she's still got to play the percentages right there, and that is wall up, you've got her off balance, make her make that tough shot right there.
So Becca Marshall connects on the free throw. Sophomore from Columbia City. Makes them both. It's an 8-point game with 3:46 left to go. Shot clock at 14. Tough play. Evans recovers. Wayner for 3. No. Hustle by McNally, but couldn't track it down. Need a couple of more stops if you're Marian. Collier on the diving effort. Fight for it. Jump balls Marian. So that'll be a turnover. By the way, these two teams will get together again on January the 27th up in Winona Lake. It'll be a couple of months they see each other again.
Good active hands by Collier that time to knock that ball loose. And then right on the floor after it. You got to love it when your All-American is diving on the floor.
Good turn. Again, give the credit to Evans. Heads up play. Timeout called by Marian. 30-second timeout.
Well, McNally's been working that seal all day, and she's much better on that right block because she can go to her right hand when she's sealed. She's had a little trouble on the other side.
Just remind your fans, all the up-to-minute information on Knights Athletics when you log on to MUKnights.com, and sure to follow on Twitter/X at MUKnights. That's at MUKnights. So 10-point game with 2:48 left to go. Marian 3 timeouts remaining. Grace with 2. And Collier with 16 points in 28 minutes. But Aaliyah Evans has played very well in her 22 minutes. 8 points, got the assist there. Kennedy Girard, a team-high 9 rebounds for Marian. And again, the men's game will follow this one. Well, I would assume not before 2 o'clock. We'll have that one for you as well here on the ISC Sports Network.
Well, the Marian shooting percentage is bumping precariously close to the 40% mark here in the last couple of minutes. They've been able to be a little more efficient on the offensive end. And Grace is still hovering around 30%. They've really come up empty in this last 3 or 4 minute stretch, and that's allowed Marian to kind of get out and get into a little more comfortable position.
4 starters and Evans in for Trable on the floor for Marian. Patton, tough shot. And again, Patton, really tough player, really smart player, but is fighting the tall timbers when she makes that move.
McAnally really handled that move. She anticipated the spin back and was right there to take it away.
Speaking of spins, how about Girard? She'll shoot 2 free throws.
The hurricane spin right there.
First, Girard for a couple years played opposite Amani Guy. 6'3" post out of Columbus North. It was kind of like being opposite a shutdown corner. Teams wouldn't shoot against a 6'3" player, so they tried to post up Girard, and so she led the league in blocks instead.
Yeah, well, she's athletic and strong and tough, as you can see, the way she is a grinder as a player down there. Really a worker.
And the senior also hits 2 free throws.
Her free throw looks a lot better than her jump shot. It seems like she, with that free throw stroke, she could probably take that into the rest of her game a little bit better.
And now a timeout taken by Grace. 2:12 left to go.
A lot of times that's just confidence.
It is a full timeout, so let's step aside with them. 2:12 left to play. The lead is 12 for Marian. It's their largest of the game. Back in a moment on ISC.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
55-43, Marian leads it. 2:12 left to go. Again, Grace has led twice in the second half, but Marian has answered every time. Just a reminder, Knights fans, joining the M Club is the absolute best way to support student athletes at Marian University. For more information, be sure to visit marian.edu/M Club. And the 1 timeout left for Grace. Marian can stop it 3 times if need be. And while this thing has not been exactly a thing of beauty at times, frankly, what Marian does defensively means, Bill, you can win a lot of games when your offense isn't exactly at full song.
You can win a lot of games, and they've been doing it from the beginning of the season. Yeah. So it's not crazy that Grace is shooting in the low 30%, because that's what everybody's done against Marian.
36%. Marian currently amongst the leaders nationally in terms of a defensive standpoint. On the drive, the runner a bit too strong, and Collier has inside position. Good hands by Ryman, though. And then Collier takes it right back. And Collier, knowing the game the way she does, just peels it right back out, draws contact. 4th foul against Grace. They had 1 to give.
Really smart play. Clock's your friend at that point in time. No reason to force the issue.
And because of the foul, you've got a fresh 30 to deal with.
You got a new 30, absolutely.
They just put it at 23 as soon as I said that. Still plenty of time to drain some sands to the hourglass if you're Marian. Girard going to work and one.
Tough.
Go to your most experienced player, your fifth-year player on the roster in Girard down low.
Well, I really like what they've been doing, and they've been doing it all night. So they're coming off a ball screen on one side of the floor, and they're sealing the help on the other side of the floor and just trying to dump it in there deep. And Girard and McAnally have had some success just sealing and posting and getting fouled and scoring down there.
So Kaylee Patton picks up her 5th foul. Patton put in a good effort today. 10 points, 7 rebounds in 32 minutes.
Good day's work for her. She had
no doubt.
She had a very good game.
And if I'm Grace, I feel you don't feel good about losing, and it's going to look like maybe a little more lopsided than it really was. But I think you know in the back of your mind, hey, we got a shot against these guys later in the year. So 58-43. Marshall, 3 in the corner. Not that time. Collier collects another rebound. And given Collier's ability to knock down free throws, she wants the ball in her hands as much as possible.
Well, that's what's great about film. You know, you can go back and find plenty of evidence of missed opportunities and things that you don't have to cash in 100% of the time, but if you cash in half the time rather than 30% of the time, you're right there and you have a chance to win the basketball game.
This Marian team, number 6 in the country in the last NAIA rankings. Indiana Wesleyan checks in at number 3 representing this league as Evans connects from the line. Evans trying to get to double figures, become the 3rd Marian Knight to hit that today, and she does so. By the way, on a day where offenses have been a struggle, the two teams are combined 25 of 26 from the free throw line. Step through. And one. Now, some would call that a step through. Others would call that a Euro step.
Others would call it a travel.
You knew exactly where I was leading to. A friend of mine used to talk about a book that he was going to pen called 3 Quick Steps to an Easy Basket.
Well, that little extra step in the post, and in that case on a drive, seems to be something that they allow a little bit more in the women's game.
And frankly, it's a little more grace, pardon the play on words, given the opponent.
It's kind of an unwritten thing, because if you really looked at it, it's hard to say it's not a travel.
So I think there is they want to get a replay look at who committed the foul. So officials are over at Mitch Huppert, so that's why we're going to take a look here.
Boom, boom.
It'd be McNally on the swat, which will be her 5th. So they'll get McNally with the foul, and she will foul out with less than a minute to play.
McNally is a really good athlete, can really move her feet. And at times, she's just made a couple of bad defensive decisions at the end of drives when she's really in great position, but she wants to go after that block. And she wants to do it violently, which is going to hurt you as far as getting the call.
So count the bucket, make it 60-45. Blazik. That's the first Grace miss from the line today. And again, Marian in a 15-point game will just simply, Collier will put this on her hip for as long as possible. So Marian will go to 6-1, 1-0 in league play. Grace will fall to 3-3. And that'll be a foul that'll send Collier to the line with 31 seconds left to go. We'll wrap this one pretty quickly upon its completion to give our crew a chance to take a breather and get ready for the men's game, which will tip a little past 2 o'clock. And this has been the case on Saturday games for a while, but used to be the men would play on Tuesday, women on Wednesday. Now it is doubleheaders. We'll have some Wednesday night hoop for you this year on ISC from the PE Center. And Collier, even on what was kind of a slow day for her, finishes with 18 points. Right at her average on the season. Ryman heaves the three. Gerard now with a double-double. 11 points and 12 rebounds. And Ella Collier will do her best to deflate gate and take the air out of the ball from here. 62-45, Marian. Again, credit Grace. They led early in the fourth quarter, but Marian finally got their offense in gear. So win this one going away. Coach, your final thoughts?
Just wore them down with their depth. I think you could tell that Grace was a little bit tired at the end. And Marian, on a day that you might think is an off day, still gets a 17-point win.
That's how good this Marian team is. So that'll wrap the women's broadcast. The men's game will begin approximately at 2 o'clock. Ella Collier 18 to lead Marian. Tanish for Ryman and Patton to pace the way for Grace. Thanks for joining us for Marian Women's Basketball. The men on deck at 2 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Lock in your rate with pre-approval. It's fast, free, and makes buying the car of your dreams easier. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you.